The tea is chamomile, and it's gone cold. I'm sitting in the corner booth of the Willow Cafe, the same booth I've claimed every Thursday afternoon for the past 2 years, with a manuscript spread across the table, red pen in hand, trying to focus on the structural problems in Chapter 7. The protagonist is too passive. The dialogue is expositional. The romantic tension peaks too early. I've written these same notes on 17 manuscripts this month, and it's only the 3rd week of January. My phone buzzes. Mom, again. The text preview reads, "Evelyn, please call me back. We need to discuss." I silence it. I don't have the emotional bandwidth for another conversation about my life choices, about how I'm 32 and single, about how my job as a freelance book editor doesn't count as a real career in her eyes, about how I should have married Philip when I had the chance, never mind that Philip cheated on me with his dental hygienist and now has 3 kids in the suburbs. The cafe door chimes. I don't look up. The Willow gets a steady stream of customers on Thursday afternoons, NYU students cramming for exams, freelancers like me nursing single cups of coffee for 3 hours, tourists who wandered off Washington Square Park looking for bathrooms. I'm deep into a particularly problematic scene transition when I feel it, that prickling awareness that comes from being watched. I glance up. She's standing 3 feet from my table. The woman is probably in her 60s, but she wears it like a weapon. Elegant silver hair pulled into a flawless chignon, bone structure that suggests she was devastating in her youth and hasn't forgotten it, dressed in a black wool coat that probably costs more than my rent. Her eyes are dark, assessing, and locked directly on me. "Evelyn Thorne," she says. It's not a question. My pen stops mid-notation. "I'm sorry, do I know you?" "No." She pulls out the chair across from me, doesn't ask permission, just sits, and folds her hands on the table with the precision of someone accustomed to being obeyed. "But I know you. I know you're a freelance editor. I know you live alone in a 4th-floor walk-up in the East Village. I know you have $17,000 in student loan debt, no health insurance, and that your mother calls you 4 times a day because she's worried you're wasting your life." Every muscle in my body goes rigid. "Who the hell are you?" "My name is Caterina Lombardi." She says it like I should recognize it. When I don't react, something flickers across her face. Surprise, maybe, or reassessment. "You don't know that name." "Should I?" "Most people in this city would." She reaches into her coat and pulls out a slim leather wallet, extracting a business card that she slides across the table. Heavy cardstock, embossed lettering, Lombardi Family Enterprises, Caterina Lombardi, CEO. I leave it untouched. "What do you want?" "I want to offer you a job." "I'm not looking for—" $500,000, she interrupts, "for 6 months of your time." The number is so absurd that I actually laugh. "Okay, what's the catch? Kidney donation? Surrogate pregnancy? Underground fighting ring?" Her expression doesn't change. "Marriage." The laughter dies in my throat. "I need you to marry my son," Caterina continues, her voice as calm as if she's ordering lunch. "The ceremony will be small, private, legally binding. You'll live in his residence for 6 months, appear together at necessary family functions, and maintain the appearance of a genuine relationship. At the end of 6 months, you'll divorce quietly, receive your payment in full, and return to your life. No contact afterward. I should stand up. I should tell this clearly delusional woman to leave. Instead, I hear myself ask, why? Because my son is going to die if he doesn't marry within the next 30 days. She delivers this with such matter-of-fact calm that it takes a moment to process. That's insane. People don't die from being single. People in my world do. Caterina leans forward slightly. "My son's name is Cristiano Lombardi. He is 34 years old. He is brilliant, stubborn, and currently bound by an oath he made when he was too young to understand the consequences, an oath that requires him to marry before his 35th birthday or forfeit his life to pay a family debt. That's not legally enforceable. It's not about legality, Miss Thorne. It's about honor, and in my world, honor is more binding than any law." Her gaze is steady, unflinching. I have spent 2 years searching for a suitable candidate. Every woman in our circle is either already married, connected to rival families, or sees this as an opportunity for permanent social climbing. I need someone outside our world. Someone intelligent enough to navigate complex social situations, self-sufficient enough not to become dependent, and pragmatic enough to walk away when the contract ends. And you think that's me? I know it is. She taps the manuscript in front of me. You've edited 43 romance novels in the past 3 years. You understand relationship dynamics, dialogue, chemistry. You know how to construct a believable love story. This is simply life imitating art. My mind is racing. This is insane. This woman is clearly connected to something dangerous. Organized crime, if I'm reading the subtext correctly. The smart thing is to refuse. The sane thing is to call the police. But $500,000, that's student loans paid off, that's health insurance, that's 3 years of financial security to finish writing my own novel instead of fixing everyone else's. That's freedom. I need to think about it. I say carefully. You have 24 hours. Katerina stands with the same grace she sat down with. My number is on the card. When you call, and you will call, Miss Thorne, because I've done my research and I know exactly how desperate you are, we'll discuss the contract details. She's at the door before I find my voice. What if I say no? She pauses, glances back. Then I'll find someone else. My son will marry a stranger who will make his life miserable, and you'll continue editing other people's love stories while yours never begins. Her smile is small, sad. Such a waste of potential. The door chimes. She's gone. I sit in the silent cafe, staring at the business card, the cold chamomile tea, the manuscript with its red-penned critiques about passive protagonists and premature tension peaks. The irony is not lost on me. I don't call for 18 hours. I spend those 18 hours doing what I do best, research. Lombardi Family Enterprises is a legitimate business empire. Real estate development, hospitality, import/export, venture capital. Caterina Lombardi is listed as CEO, a widow who took over after her husband's death 12 years ago. She sits on charity boards. She donates to museums. She's photographed at galas wearing designer gowns and diplomatic smiles. Cristiano Lombardi is harder to find. There are photos, mostly in business publications, a few society page appearances, but they're always in the background, never the focus. Dark hair, strong features, an intensity in his eyes, even in still images. He's listed as COO of Lombardi Enterprises. He graduated summa cum laude from Columbia Business School. He's never been married, no publicized relationships, no scandals. On the surface, it all looks clean, but I've edited enough crime thrillers to recognize the shape of the missing pieces. The way articles mention the Lombardi family's traditional values and old-world connections. The way Caterina's late husband's obituary glosses over his early life in Sicily. The way none of the business profiles ever mention what exactly the import/export division imports and exports. This is organized crime dressed in Armani suits, and I'm considering marrying into it for $500,000. At 11 p.m., sitting on my apartment floor surrounded by printouts and open browser tabs, I call the number. She answers on the first ring. Miss Thorne. I have questions. Of course you do. Saturday, 2 p.m., my residence. We'll discuss everything. She rattles off an address in the Upper East Side. Dress nicely, my son will be there. Wait, I haven't agreed to... You called, Caterina says simply. That's agreement enough. Saturday, Miss Thorne. Don't be late. The line goes dead. The Lombardi residence is a 5-story townhouse on East 73rd Street with a facade that whispers old money and a security camera presence that screams something else entirely. I'm wearing the only interview-appropriate outfit I own. Black slacks, cream blouse, blazer with a small coffee stain on the cuff that I've strategically hidden under my watch. The door opens before I knock. The man standing there is not Cristiano. He's older, mid-50s maybe, built like he's spent significant time either in a gym or in situations requiring physical force. His suit is impeccable, his expression is neutral, and his eyes conduct a full threat assessment in 3 seconds. "Miss Thorne," he says, "I'm Angelo. Mrs. Lombardi is expecting you." The interior is exactly what I expected. Marble floors, crown molding, art that's probably original, furniture that's definitely expensive. Angelo leads me through a hallway lined with family photographs, Katerina and a handsome man I assume is her late husband, a young boy who grows up through the frames into the serious-eyed man from my research, Cristiano. We end up in a sitting room that overlooks a private garden, snow-dusted and serene. Katerina is standing by the window, and she turns as I enter. "Miss Thorne. Punctual. I appreciate that." She gestures to a wingback chair. "Sit. Would you like tea?" "No, thank you." I sit, back straight, hands folded in my lap. "I want to understand what you're really asking me to do." "Straight to business." "Good." Katerina takes the chair across from me. "What do you know about Italian family structure, Miss Thorne?" "I've edited several MAFIA romances, if that's what you're asking." Her smile is quick, genuine. Fiction is often more honest than fact. Yes, my family is what you would call mafia, though we prefer to think of ourselves as a business organization with traditional values. My late husband, Giancarlo, was... She pauses, choosing words carefully. "A man of honor in a world governed by codes that predate American law." "And the oath your son made?" "When Cristiano was 19, there was a conflict with another family. Violence was imminent. Giancarlo negotiated peace, but peace requires collateral. The terms were this. Cristiano would marry the daughter of the other family before his 35th birthday, uniting the families, or he would surrender his life as payment for the conflict his actions caused." My stomach turns. "What did he do?" "He fell in love with the wrong girl." Katerina's voice is soft. "She was engaged to the son of our rival. Cristiano didn't know. By the time anyone realized, the damage was done. The engagement was broken. The girl's reputation ruined. The rival family demanded retribution. This was the compromise." "And the daughter he was supposed to marry?" "Died in a car accident 7 years ago." Katerina's face is carefully neutral. "The family insisted the oath still stands. He must marry someone, anyone, but he must marry before his birthday, which is February 17th, 4 weeks from today. And if he doesn't? Then honor demands payment, and the payment is his life." She leans forward. "I am not a superstitious woman, Miss Thorne, but I am a practical one. I know how these men think. I know what they're capable of. If Cristiano is not married by his birthday, they will come for him, and I will lose my son." The desperation underneath the calm delivery is palpable. This isn't a negotiation tactic. This is a mother trying to save her child. "Does he know you're doing this?" "He knows I've been searching for a solution. He doesn't know I've found you." She studies me. "My son is difficult. He's brilliant at business, loyal to a fault, but he has no patience for social games. He's refused every potential match I've brought to him. He says he won't marry for obligation, won't trap some innocent woman in this mess. But you're doing it anyway. Because I'm his mother, and I will do whatever it takes to keep him alive." There's steel in her voice now. "I'm not asking you to love him. I'm not even asking you to like him. I'm asking you to sign a contract, play a role, and collect your payment. 6 months, that's all." "What about after? If the oath is satisfied, do they just leave him alone?" "Once he's married, the terms are fulfilled. The debt is paid. After 6 months, when you divorce, he'll be free to make his own choices." Katerina pulls a folder from the side table, sets it between us. "This is the contract. $500,000 paid in full upon completion of the 6-month term. Living expenses covered during the marriage. A confidentiality agreement that binds both parties. And a dissolution clause that guarantees clean separation with no further obligations." I don't reach for it. "I want to meet him." "Of course." Katerina checks her watch. "He should be arriving any moment. I asked him to come at 2:30. I wanted to speak with you first. As if on cue, I hear the front door open. Male voices in the hallway, Angelo's greeting, and another voice, deeper, with an edge to it. Don't have time for this, Angelo. Tell my mother I'll talk to her tonight. She has a guest, Angelo interrupts. It's important. Silence. Then footsteps approaching. He appears in the doorway, and every photograph I found was a lie. The photos captured the surface, the dark hair, the strong features, the intensity. They didn't capture the sheer presence of him, the way he takes up space not through size but through certainty, the way his gaze cuts through the room like he's assessing threats and exits in the same breath. Cristiano Lombardi looks at me, then at his mother, and his expression shifts from confusion to understanding to something close to fury in 3 seconds. No, he says flatly. Absolutely not. Katerina stands. Cristiano. No. He steps fully into the room, and I can see the tension in his shoulders, the controlled anger in every movement. You did not hire a wife for me. Tell me you did not hire a wife for me, Ma. I found a solution. A solution is renegotiating terms. A solution is finding a legal loophole. A solution is not buying some random woman off the street and dressing it up as marriage. His eyes flick to me, and there's something in that gaze. Assessment, yes, but also apology, like he's sorry I got dragged into this. I'm not random, I say, surprising myself. Your mother researched me extensively. It was actually a little invasive. He blinks. You think this is funny? I think this entire situation is insane. I stand because I'm not going to have this conversation sitting down. But your mother offered me $500,000 to sign a contract and play house for 6 months, and considering my current financial situation, that's not an offer I can dismiss out of hand. Then you're either desperate or stupid. Both, probably. I meet his stare. But I'm also a very good actress when I need to be. I have an excellent understanding of romantic relationship dynamics from a structural perspective, and I'm pragmatic enough to walk away when the contract ends. Your mother seems to think those are valuable traits. Something shifts in his expression. Curiosity, maybe. You're serious. I'm poor and pragmatic. That's a dangerous combination. I pick up the folder, hold it against my chest like armor. Look, I get it. This is weird. You don't know me, I don't know you, and apparently we're supposed to convince a bunch of criminals that we're in love enough to satisfy some blood oath from 15 years ago. It's objectively insane. Then why are you here? Because $500,000 is life-changing money. Because I'm tired of editing other people's dreams while mine collect dust. Because sometimes you have to do something insane to escape being slowly suffocated by ordinary desperation. I pause. Why are you here? You clearly don't want this. Why not just run? Because I don't run. His jaw tightens. And because if I disappear, they'll go after my mother to draw me out. I won't let that happen. The room falls silent. Katerina is watching both of us with calculating eyes. Perhaps you two should speak privately. Angelo, show them to the library. Ma, Cristiano starts. 10 minutes. She interrupts. Talk to the girl, Cristiano. Actually talk to her. Then decide. The library is all dark wood and leather-bound books and the smell of old paper. Angelo closes the door behind us, leaving me alone with a man who looks like he's considering murder or flight. Cristiano moves to the window, his back to me, hands shoved in his pockets. You should leave. Your mother won't pay me if I leave. I'll pay you. He turns, and his face is serious. 50,000, right now. Walk away, forget this happened, never come back. I should take it. 50,000 would solve most of my problems. But something in his desperation makes me pause. Why are you so against this? Because it's not your fight. Because you'll get hurt. Because... He stops, resets. Do you have any idea what kind of world you're considering entering? These people don't play by normal rules. They don't care about laws or ethics or collateral damage. If they find out this marriage is fake, they'll consider it a betrayal, and betrayals get punished violently. So we make sure they don't find out it's fake. For 6 months? While living together? While attending family events full of people whose entire job is reading deception? He laughs, bitter. We'd last a week. Maybe. I move closer because I need to see his eyes when I say this. Or maybe your mother is right. Maybe I'm good at this kind of performance. Maybe you're underestimating both of us. You don't know me. I know you're scared, not for yourself, for your mother. I know you'd rather run but won't because it would put her in danger. I know you're angry at being trapped by a promise you made when you were too young to understand consequences. I tilt my head. Am I wrong? His expression is unreadable. You got all that from 5 minutes? I edit romance novels for a living. Reading subtext is literally my job. I set the folder on a nearby desk. Look, I'm not going to pretend this isn't motivated by money. It is. I need the money desperately enough to consider marrying a stranger and lying to criminals. That should tell you exactly how precarious my life is right now. It tells me you're desperate. Desperate people make bad decisions. Desperate people make necessary decisions. I cross my arms. You want the truth? I've spent 10 years playing it safe. I went to college, got my degree, took the practical job, did everything I was supposed to do. And where did it get me? Broke, alone, editing other people's dreams because I'm too scared to chase my own. So yeah, this is insane. But it's also the first interesting thing anyone's offered me in years. He's quiet for a long moment. You'd really do this. For money. I'd do this for freedom. The money is just what buys it. I meet his gaze. 6 months. That's all your mother is asking. We live together, we attend events, we smile for the cameras, and we convince your family's enemies that this is real. Then we divorce, you're free from the oath, I'm free from debt, and we never have to see each other again. It's a business transaction. Business transactions don't usually require cohabitation and emotional performance. No, but contracts do require terms and fulfillment. Think of it as method acting. I pause. Your mother said you're brilliant at business, so approach this like business. What's the ROI on this arrangement? You keep your life, your mother keeps her son, I get financial security, and the only cost is 6 months of inconvenience and really good acting. Cristiano stares at me like he's trying to solve an equation that keeps changing variables. What if you can't do it? What if you panic or get scared or decide halfway through that $500,000 isn't worth the risk? Then you'll pay me the $50,000 and find someone else. I shrug, but I won't panic. I'm very, very good at compartmentalizing, and I'm extremely motivated to see this through. Why? Because I'm tired of being afraid, I say honestly. I'm tired of small apartments and declining bank balances and watching my dreams get smaller every year. This is my chance to reset, to buy myself time to become who I actually want to be instead of who I settled for. So yeah, I'll do this. I'll marry you, I'll play the devoted wife, and I'll convince everyone it's real. Because the alternative is going back to my life, and I can't do that anymore. The silence stretches. Then, you're either very brave or very reckless. Probably both. I allow a small smile. Look, I get that this isn't ideal for you. You probably imagined if you ever got married it would be for love, not obligation. But right now, I'm your best option. I'm outside your world, which means no political complications. I'm not looking for permanence, which means no messy emotional entanglements. And I'm desperate enough to commit fully to making this work, which means you don't have to worry about me backing out at the last minute. And after, when the 6 months are up, I disappear. Clean break, no contact, no complications. Your mother already has that in the contract. I step closer. I'm not here to trap you, Cristiano. I'm here to free both of us. He searches my face for something, weakness maybe, or deception. Whatever he's looking for, he doesn't seem to find it. If we do this, there are rules. I'd expect nothing less from a business arrangement. No falling in love. He says it flatly, like he's had to establish this boundary before. This isn't a romance novel. This is survival. We play the roles, we fulfill the contract, we separate. Clean, professional. Agreed. No telling anyone the truth. Not your friends, not your family, no one. One slip and we're both dead. Understood. And you do exactly what I say when it comes to family events. These people are dangerous. You don't improvise, you don't go off script, you follow my lead. His voice is hard now, protective. Your safety depends on you playing this perfectly. Then teach me the role. I hold out my hand. 6 months, Cristiano. That's all I'm asking. A fair performance for fair payment. He looks at my hand for a long moment. Then, slowly, he reaches out and takes it. His grip is warm, firm, and the contact sends an unexpected jolt through my nervous system. This is just a handshake. Just a business agreement. There's no reason my pulse should be racing. 6 months, he says quietly, and then you walk away. And then I walk away, I confirm. He releases my hand, steps back, and for just a second, I see something in his eyes. Not quite regret, not quite relief. Something complicated. My mother will have the contracts drawn up, he says. You'll need to sign an NDA, a prenuptial agreement, and about 15 other legal documents. Angelo will run a background check. We'll need to coordinate stories, how we met, how long we've been together, why we're rushing the wedding, and you'll need to move into my apartment by next weekend. That's fast. We don't have time to take this slow. He moves toward the door, pauses with his hand on the handle. Last chance, Evelyn. You can still walk away. Take the 50,000 and forget this happened. I should. Every rational instinct is screaming at me to take the money and run. But rational instincts don't pay student loans. Rational instincts don't buy freedom. I'll see you at the wedding, I say instead. Something flickers across his face. Respect, maybe, or recognition. Yeah, you will. He opens the door, and I follow him back to the sitting room where Katerina is waiting with the expression of someone who already knows the outcome. So? She asks. Draw up the contracts, Cristiano says, not looking at me. We'll do this. Katerina's smile is small, relieved, triumphant. Thank you. Don't thank me. This is blackmail. But his voice is softer than his words. And Ma? If anything happens to her because of this, I'll never forgive you. Nothing will happen to her. Katerina stands, moves to her son, places a hand on his cheek. I promise you, mio figlio, I will protect her as fiercely as I protect you. He doesn't respond, just turns and walks out of the room. I hear the front door open and close with controlled force. Katerina turns to me. He'll come around. He doesn't have to like me. He just has to marry me. I pick up my bag. When do you need me to sign the contracts? My lawyer will contact you tomorrow. She walks me toward the door. Thank you, Miss Thorne. You're saving my son's life. I won't forget that. I'm doing it for money, Mrs. Lombardi. Let's not romanticize it. Perhaps. She opens the door. Or perhaps you're doing it because you recognize something in him, something worth saving. I don't answer, because she's wrong. This is purely transactional. A role I'm playing for a paycheck. Nothing more. But as I step out into the cold February afternoon, I can still feel the warmth of Cristiano's handshake burning against my palm, and I can't help but wonder if I've just made the smartest decision of my life, or the most dangerous. The contracts arrive via courier Monday morning, a stack of legal documents 2 inches thick that takes me 4 hours to read through with the meticulous attention I usually reserve for copy editing. Every page is what I expected: standard prenuptial language protecting his assets, confidentiality clauses with teeth, dissolution terms that guarantee clean separation after 6 months, and a payment schedule that confirms $500,000 will be transferred to my account upon fulfillment of all contractual obligations. What I don't expect is the additional document clipped to the back. Personal Safety Protocols. It's 5 pages of rules written in Cristiano's handwriting, sharp, efficient, no-nonsense script that matches his personality. 1. You will not leave the residence without Angelo or approved security. 2. You will not discuss family business with anyone outside the immediate family. 3. You will not answer the door, accept packages, or interact with unexpected visitors. 4. All phone calls and messages will be monitored for the duration of the arrangement. 5. If you feel unsafe at any time, you will contact me immediately. My personal number is programmed into your phone. The list continues. 23 rules total, each one a reminder that I'm entering a world where safety isn't guaranteed and danger is protocol. At the bottom of the last page, in the same sharp script, these rules are not negotiable. Your life may depend on following them. C. I sign everything. By Tuesday afternoon, the money is in my account. 50,000 as an advance, the rest to be paid upon completion. I spend Wednesday paying off my student loans, setting up automatic payments for my credit cards, and purchasing health insurance for the first time in 3 years. It feels surreal, transactional, like I've sold something intangible in exchange for something concrete. Thursday morning, my phone rings from an unknown number. Hello? It's Cristiano. His voice is as controlled as I remember. I'm sending a car for you Saturday at 10 a.m. Bring whatever you need for the next 6 months. Angelo will handle the rest of your belongings Monday. That's 3 days away. Yes, is that a problem? No, I sit down on my apartment floor, surrounded by boxes I haven't packed yet. Where exactly am I moving to? Tribeca, penthouse. You'll have your own bedroom and bathroom. Office space if you need it for work. Building security is excellent, and Angelo lives on site. He pauses. It's safe, Evelyn. I promise you that. Okay. The wedding is next Saturday. Small ceremony, immediate family only. You'll need a dress. My mother is sending someone to you Friday. Just cooperate with whatever she asks. Cooperate how? Let her make you look like you belong in our world. There's no judgment in his voice, just pragmatism. First impressions matter with these people. We need you to look the part. Understood. Silence on the line. Then, are you having second thoughts? No, are you? Every 5 minutes. He exhales. But we're doing this anyway. Then I'll see you Saturday. Yeah? He hangs up. I sit there holding my phone, staring at the half-packed boxes, the manuscript pages scattered across my desk, the life I'm about to abandon for 6 months. My mother calls. I don't answer. She'll find out about the wedding eventually, and when she does, I'll tell her we fell in love quickly, got engaged after 3 months, couldn't wait. She'll believe it, because she wants to believe I've finally found someone. She'll never know I'm being paid to play house with a man whose enemies might kill us both if they discover the truth. The thought should terrify me. Instead, I feel the strangest sense of relief, like I've been holding my breath for 10 years and I'm finally allowed to exhale. Saturday arrives too fast and too slow. The car is a black Mercedes with tinted windows and a driver named Marco who doesn't speak except to confirm my identity. Angelo is waiting in the lobby of the Tribeca building. Sleek glass and steel, doorman in uniform, the kind of place I'd never be able to afford in 1,000 years of freelance editing. Miss Thorne. Angelo takes my single suitcase like it weighs nothing. Welcome. Mr. Lombardi is upstairs. The elevator requires a keycard. We ride to the top floor in silence, and when the doors open, they open directly into the apartment. Not an apartment. A penthouse that's bigger than most houses. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Hudson River. Open floor plan. Furniture that's modern and expensive and somehow still inviting. There's art on the walls. Real art. The kind with museum-quality frames and subtle lighting. The kitchen is all marble and stainless steel. The living room has a fireplace that's probably never been used. Cristiano is standing by the windows, phone to his ear, conducting business in rapid Italian. He's wearing dark slacks and a white dress shirt with the sleeves rolled up, and there's something about the casual dominance of his posture that makes the entire space feel smaller. He sees me, holds up one finger, 1 minute, and finishes his call. No. Tell them we're not accepting those terms, renegotiate or walk. He hangs up, sets the phone on the counter, and turns his full attention to me. You made it. Your driver didn't give me much choice. I set my bag down. This is not what I expected. What did you expect? Something more, I don't know, dark and dangerous? His smile is brief. I saved the dark and dangerous for the office. Home is for not thinking about work. He gestures down a hallway. Your room is second door on the left, private bathroom, walk-in closet. My room is at the end of the hall. Office is across from yours if you need workspace. Thank you. Don't thank me. This is part of the contract. He leans against the counter, arms crossed. Rules. We need to establish ground rules for living together. Okay. First, I work late. Don't wait up, don't check on me, don't worry if you don't see me for 12 hours. Second, I have people coming and going at odd hours. Angelo, my lawyer, occasionally my mother. You'll get used to it. Third, the kitchen is yours if you want to cook, but we also have a chef who comes in 3 times a week. Fourth, don't go into my office without permission. Fifth, we maintain separate lives as much as possible. You do your work, I do mine. We only interact when necessary for appearances. Got it. Roommates with a marriage license. Exactly. He studies me. How are you holding up? Honestly, I feel like I'm in a very expensive fever dream. That's accurate. He pushes off the counter, moves closer. The wedding is in 6 days. My mother is going to put you through hell this week. Dress fittings, etiquette coaching, memorizing family trees. She'll make you feel inadequate, but it's not personal. She's preparing you to survive. Survive what? Family dinner next Sunday. The real test. His expression is serious. My uncles will be there, my cousins, people who've known me my entire life and will be looking for any sign this marriage is fake. You'll need to be perfect, Evelyn. One wrong answer, one hesitation, and they'll know. My stomach tightens. Then we better make sure I'm prepared. We will. He glances at his watch. I have a meeting at noon. Angelo will stay with you, help you settle in. Tonight we'll have dinner together. Here, private, and start building our story. How we met, when I proposed, all the details people will ask about. Okay. He starts to leave, pauses. Evelyn? Yeah? Thank you. He says it quietly like the words are difficult. For doing this. I know it's insane. I'm being paid very well to be insane, but you're welcome. I offer a small smile. Try not to die this week. It would really mess up my contract. His laugh is surprised, genuine. I'll do my best. Then he's gone, and I'm alone in a penthouse that's supposed to be my home for the next 6 months, married to a man I barely know, preparing to lie to criminals. The fever dream continues. Katerina arrives Monday morning with an entourage. 2 assistants, a stylist named Julia who looks at my clothes with barely concealed horror, and a woman introduced only as Sophia. She'll teach you what you need to know. What I need to know, apparently, is everything. Sophia spends 4 hours drilling me on Lombardi family history. Who's who? Who's married to whom? Which uncle controls which territory? Which cousin is trustworthy versus which cousin is ambitious? It's like memorizing character charts for a novel, except these characters can have me killed if I offend them. Cristiano's Uncle Marcello, Sophia says, pointing to a photo. Oldest brother of Giancarlo, Cristiano's father. Traditional, suspicious of outsiders. He'll test you. Compliment his wife's cooking. Ask about his grandchildren. Never discuss business. Got it. Cousin Benedetto, hot-headed, competitive with Cristiano. He'll try to provoke you to see how you react. Stay calm, deflect with humor, never take the bait. Okay. Aunt Carmela. She raised Cristiano after his father died. She's protective, perceptive, and she will know if you're lying. With her, be honest about your feelings for Cristiano. Just frame them carefully. How do I frame I married him for money carefully? Sophia's smile is sharp. You say you fell for him because he's different from any man you've met. Intense, protective, complicated, all true statements. She'll believe them because she wants to believe her boy found someone worthy. The lying is easier than I expected, maybe because I've spent years analyzing fictional relationships, understanding character motivations, constructing believable emotional arcs. This is just another story. I'm just another character, except the consequences of a plot hole are death instead of bad reviews. Julia returns Tuesday with racks of clothing, dresses, slacks, blouses, shoes, jewelry, everything in shades of cream, black, deep red. Elegant but not flashy, she explains. You're Cristiano's wife, not a trophy. You need to look like you belong, not like you're trying to impress. The wedding dress arrives Wednesday. It's simpler than I expected. Ivory silk, fitted bodice, flowing skirt, delicate lace sleeves. Beautiful. Understated. Exactly the kind of dress a woman marries for love in, not obligation. When I try it on, Katerina actually tears up. You look perfect, she says quietly. He's going to... She stops herself. You look perfect. Thursday night, Cristiano comes home early. I'm in the living room, surrounded by note cards with family member names and details, trying to memorize the difference between cousin Filippo, lawyer, and cousin Emiliano, owns the construction company. He loosens his tie, pours 2 glasses of wine, brings one to me. How's the crash course going? I can now identify 23 Lombardi family members by sight and recite their biographical details. I'm either very prepared or having a breakdown. I accept the wine. How was your day? 3 contract negotiations, 2 veiled threats, and 1 actual threat. So, average. He sits across from me, and there's exhaustion in his eyes that wasn't there before. Sophia says you're doing well. Sophia is either a good liar or I'm a decent student. Both, probably. He takes a long drink. Tomorrow is the rehearsal, just family. My mother, my uncles, Angelo. We'll walk through the ceremony, practice the vows. Then Saturday is the real thing. And then we're married. And then we're married. He says it like he's still processing the reality. After the ceremony, there's a small reception. Dinner, toasts, the usual. Then everyone leaves and I don't know. Figure out what comes next. What does come next? We survive the first week without anyone figuring out this is fake. Then we survive the first month. Then we make it to 6 months and dissolve this before anyone gets hurt. He meets my eyes. That's the plan. Plans change. Not this one. His voice is firm. 6 months, Evelyn. That's all this is. I should agree. I should confirm that I'm on the same page, that this is purely transactional, that I have no illusions about this arrangement. Instead, I hear myself ask, what happened with the girl? He freezes. What? The girl you fell in love with when you were 19. The one who started all this. What happened to her? For a moment, I think he's going to shut down the conversation. Tell me it's none of my business. But then he exhales and sets down his wine glass. Her name was Gabriella, he says quietly. I met her at a gallery opening. She was art history student, funny, brilliant, completely outside my world. I didn't know she was engaged to Marcello's son from a rival family. By the time I found out, we'd been seeing each other for 3 months and I was... He stops. I was in love with her. What happened when you found out? I ended it, immediately. Told her the truth about my family, about why we couldn't be together. She was devastated. So was I. His jaw tightens. But ending it wasn't enough. The engagement was already broken. Marcello's son blamed me, his family blamed me, and they demanded retribution. My father negotiated the oath to prevent a war. And Gabriella? She married someone else, someone safe outside both our worlds. She's happy now, I think. I haven't spoken to her in 15 years. He looks at me. Why are you asking? Because I'm trying to understand what I'm walking into, and because you're not just protecting yourself, you're protecting a memory of being able to love someone without consequences. His expression is unreadable. This isn't love, Evelyn. Don't confuse the role with reality. I won't. I stand, gather my note cards. But for what it's worth, I think the girl you fell for was lucky. Not many 19-year-olds walk away from something real to protect someone else. I leave him sitting in the living room, staring into his wine glass like it holds answers he hasn't found yet. The wedding day is unseasonably warm for February. I wake up in the penthouse guest room, my room now, to sunlight streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows and the distant sound of the city waking up. For a moment, I forget where I am. Then I remember. Today, I'm marrying a stranger. Katerina arrives at 8 a.m. with Julia and a makeup artist named Maria, who transforms me into someone I barely recognize. My hair is styled in soft waves, my makeup is natural but flawless, and when I finally put on the dress, I look like a bride, a real bride. Maria hands me a small bouquet, white roses and eucalyptus, simple and elegant. "You're beautiful," she says softly. "He's a lucky man." I don't correct her. The ceremony is at a private estate in Westchester, Katerina's weekend home apparently. The house is all old-world elegance, ivy-covered stone, manicured gardens even in winter. Inside, there are maybe 20 people waiting in what I assume is normally a living room, but has been transformed into a chapel. Angelo finds me in the entrance hall. "You ready?" "No, but I'm doing it anyway." He smiles, the first real smile I've seen from him. "That's the Lombardi way. Come on." The ceremony is brief, efficient, surprisingly moving. Cristiano is waiting at the makeshift altar in a dark suit that makes him look devastating, and when I walk down the aisle, barely 10 steps, his expression is carefully neutral except for his eyes. There's something in his eyes that looks almost like regret. The officiant is someone Katerina arranged, legitimate enough to make this legal. The vows are traditional. I promise to love, honor, and cherish. So does Cristiano. His voice is steady when he says, "I do," and mine doesn't shake when I echo it back. The ring is a simple platinum band. It slides onto my finger like it was meant to be there. "You may kiss the bride." Cristiano hesitates for half a second. Then his hand comes up to cup my face, warm, gentle, completely unexpected, and he kisses me. It's chaste, appropriate, the kind of kiss you'd expect at a wedding ceremony in front of family. But there's something in the way his thumb brushes my cheekbone, something in the way he lingers for just a moment longer than necessary that makes my breath catch. When he pulls back, his eyes search mine. Looking for what? I don't know. Then it's over. We're married. The reception is in the dining room. An elaborate meal, champagne toasts, Katerina crying quietly into her napkin. Uncle Marcello makes a speech about family and honor. Cousin Benedetto makes a toast that's supposed to be funny, but lands somewhere between teasing and testing. Cristiano's hand finds mine under the table. Squeezes once. "We're okay. We're doing this." I squeeze back. By 8 p.m., everyone is gone except Katerina, who kisses both of us and whispers, "Thank you," one more time before Angelo drives her home. And then it's just us, standing in a silent estate, married, alone, with 6 months ahead of us and no idea what comes next. "So," I say finally, "what do married people do after the wedding?" Cristiano loosens his tie, exhaustion settling into his features. "In our case, drive back to the city and pretend this is normal." "Is anything about this normal?" "No." He looks at me, and for the first time all day, he allows himself a real smile. "But we made it through day 1. That's something." Day 1 of 183. "Don't remind me." He heads toward the door, pauses. "You did well today, Evelyn. Really well. My family believes this is real, that's everything. I'm a good actress." "Yeah." His expression is complicated. "You are." The drive back to the city is quiet. I fall asleep somewhere around the Bronx and wake up as we're pulling into the garage beneath the Tribeca building. Cristiano is watching me with an expression I can't read. "We're home," he says softly. "Home." The word feels strange, but I nod and we take the elevator up to the penthouse, and I go to my room while he goes to his, and we exist in separate spaces under the same roof like polite strangers who happen to share a last name now. I change out of the wedding dress, hang it carefully in the closet, and sit on the edge of the bed in my pajamas, staring at the platinum band on my finger. I'm married to a man I barely know, for money. My phone buzzes. A text from Cristiano. "You okay?" I type back. Define okay. His response comes immediately. Not panicking, not regretting, not dead. Then yes, I'm okay. Good. Get some sleep. Tomorrow we start figuring out how to actually live together. Looking forward to it. I'm lying. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm terrified. But I'm also committed. And as I lie in the dark in a room that's mine but doesn't feel like mine, in a penthouse that's supposed to be home but feels like a very expensive stage, I can't shake the memory of that moment at the altar. The way Cristiano's hand felt against my face, the way his eyes searched mine like he was looking for something real beneath the performance. This is fake. A contract. A business arrangement. So why does my face still feel warm where he touched me? I fall asleep with that question unanswered, the wedding ring catching the city lights streaming through the windows, a countdown already ticking in the back of my mind. 182 days to go.